Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim that's teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Ak Yawasop. Today's lesson is entitled, You Are a Israelite Based on Your Father. All right, because the man carries the seed. I got two examples here in the scripts, and Lord willing, be edifying to the Lord's elect. Now, before I start with my two precepts, let me go ahead and get this over here in John, the 7th chapter, because we have to believe by what's written in the scripts. So this is John chapter 7, verse 38. It says, He that believeth on me, believeth on Yahushua, as the scriptures have said. So you have to believe on the Lord Yahushua as the scriptures have said. So that being said, when it comes to these certain matters, all right, are you an Israelite? Is it based upon your mother or your father, or is it based upon both? Well, you have to believe based on what's written in the scripts, okay? So he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So out of that man is going to flow abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This truth is likened unto living water. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and go to 1 Kings, the 14th chapter. This is going into Solomon's son, Rehoboam, which he was the successor of his father's throne. All right, he ruled after his son, after his father, Solomon, King Solomon. So this is 1 Kings 14:21. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. So he was a king, right, of the southern kingdom, a Judite. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonitess. Now, when you go into this word Ammonitess, which this is the Blue Letter Bible, which allows you to go into the languages that the Bible was translated from to get a deeper understanding on what's written. Now, the blue letter does go off, so you do have to eat the meat and spit out the bones, which means you have to spiritually discern it. So when you go into this word Ammonitess, it says a woman of Ammon, right? And Ammon is a nation outside of the children of Israel, which is one of our enemies. Go here to Psalms 83. It goes into how these nations have consulted together, and they are one consent to come against the Israelites. This is Psalm 83, verse 5. For they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. It starts off with the so-called white man, or the white race. And the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, and Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon. See Ammon there. And Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Go here to Ammon. It says a people dwelling in Jordan descended from Lot through Ben Ami. So you have Ammon and Moab. They came out of the loins of Lot. Okay. Ammonites. Okay. These were heathens, which Lot, he was an Israelite if you can receive it. But Moab and Ammon, he came back as an Israelite, should I say. But the children that came out of his loins through his daughters, they were heathens. All right, so that's one account, or one witness. Let's go to a second account. This is Genesis, the 41st chapter, going into Joseph and Pharaoh. Genesis 41, verse 45, and Pharaoh called Joseph name Zaphnath-Paneah. All right, gave him an Egyptian name. And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out all over the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. Now, The Egyptians, or Martezarium, that's the true name because Egypt is a Greek word, they go back to Ham, one of the sons of Noah. It says, in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls, and he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, and the food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as a sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. Going to the vision that Joseph had concerning the future of Egypt, it was 7 years of plenteous and 7 years of famine. And all that stuff that he had a vision of came to pass. Here's the point, verse 50. And Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine, which Asenath, the daughter of Hera, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of his firstborn Manasseh. For the Most High said, he had made me forget all my toil in my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim. For the Most High caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteous that was in the land of Egypt were ended. So we know Manasseh and Ephraim is a part of the tribes, which Joseph and Dan was replaced. All right. Which when you go into Revelation 7, it lists the tribes, but it says Joseph, right? But Joseph, when it speaks about Joseph, it's namely speaking about Ephraim. So when you go into the 144,000, which is 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, it says in the 8th verse, Revelation 7, it says, and of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Joseph, which were sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000, right? So you have Joseph there. Let me find Manasseh real quick. Judah, Reuben, Gad, there. You have Asher, Naphtali. And then in the 6th verse, it says of the tribe of Manasseh were, well, let me start from the top. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Now let me go over here to Numbers, the 1st chapter, because one might say, well, it says Joseph there. It doesn't say Ephraim. When you go here to Numbers, the 1st chapter, the 18th verse, it says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the 1st day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So the lineage is determined by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward. Oh, wait, you know what? That's a good verse, but I'm actually looking for particular verse. Is it yeah. Numbers 1 and 32. And of the children of Joseph, namely or specifically of the children of Ephraim by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. So Joseph is specifically talking about Ephraim. And as we read in Revelation 7, Joseph is mentioned, which that represents Ephraim, and Manasseh is written. Although Joseph had children by an Egyptian woman, those sons were Israelites, because you are determined by the seed of your father. And we went into an example with King Solomon's son, Rehoboam, how his mother was an Ammonite. And we see that Rehoboam, he sat as a king in Judah. So you are an Israelite based upon your father, not your mother. Lord willing, this was edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadah. Shalom Akim, stay strong. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone and Tulsa.